Okay, everybody. Here, let me refresh this and let me check the chat out. So it'll tell me if I need to break out YouTube and Rumble. Because sometimes the chat does not work correctly. Okay. Restream test chat. Uh, chat text message. Okay, looks good. Everything's good. Good, good, good. Ha ha ha, hee hee hee, ho ho ho. Alrighty. Everything's working. And let's see how out of sync that is. Okay. I'm just checking a few things, that's all. And let me check my audio. Audio sounds good. Okay. And alrighty. Yeah, the only reason I'm not starting closer to the half hour to essentially 11:30 my time is just because I had to do a little bit of work. I had to go and pick up a prescription, so that took up some time this morning. So everything else got kind of late a little bit, including me going and mowing the lawn. So yeah, a short amount of time. Not as short as yesterday though. This will be full. This will be full set here. So an hour and a half from 11:30, which would take me to 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is when I break. Um, before part two for an hour, and so I realize that means that it's only an hour and 15 minutes total that I have for this part, but that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. Maybe I gotta maybe well, actually, there's a thing. Okay, so I don't get that many views, especially not the first half because it's in the morning, and so uh, um, either you're in school, you're at work. Even if you're in the UK, you're at work. Let's see, what is it? 11. That would have been. It's almost 5 o'clock. So um, the rookie is if presumably he's working right now because I see him his work account in IRC. Um, but and hopefully that doesn't get him in trouble. I don't think it has because he doesn't spend that much time chatting when he's at work. Occasionally he'll pop in and say something when he's not busy or whatever. So hopefully I'm not getting him in trouble. But anyways, so I don't get that many, and I get a little bit more after, because that's in essentially in the afternoon, right? For me, it's one. It means it's after lunch. So here on in the U.S., people are still in work and school, but people in Europe and India or Europe and elsewhere, basically, um, they're usually off of work and they can actually watch the stream, and that's where I get a few more people. But honestly, if there's a way to do it, I might even would stream at night instead of in the day. But I can't really do that. I have to get up early-ish in the morning, and there are reasons. So, but hopefully, maybe I'll get popular enough that more people that aren't at work or school, even in the USA, even during the day, can actually watch my stream or put it on or whatever. But I don't know. You're supposed to be consistent, and you're supposed to, put in the time. And I'm at 180 dev streams here, uh, which is weekday streams. Not counting my edit streams and not counting double for the two parts because I recently did the two parts. I count them as one, even though they're two separate streams. I count them as one thing. So, um, yeah. Anywho, what I want to do is I want to pull up see favorites, and we want to start redot. Redot. I always go redot because I'm thinking of the 90s computer generated show from Canada called Reboot. And it was always reboot. And so I always think of, when I see redot, I always think of reboot. So I say redot, which means I'm opening Reddit. Not Reddit. I'm opening redot. Redot's not Reddit. Anyways, okay, so where we left off yesterday is I have some of this working. I can move this around. See that? I can do this, but I can't move it. See, if I let up on the control, then it does single select. If I do this, it does multi-select, or toggle, I should say, multi-select, toggle select. But then I can't move all of them. Now, if I do shift doesn't do a it doesn't do a toggle. It just doesn't add. Sort of like how shift works. You know, normally if you're dealing with files or a list of stuff, shift does selects like a group, multiple rows. So you shift click on one thing, and then you go down a ways, and then you shift click on the other, or vice versa, and then it selects all of them. Well, this is you can put these anywhere, so that kind of doesn't work here. So, but I can do this, but I can only do this as long as I'm holding down shift. Okay, so that's interesting. I let go of shift, and it still works, right? But if I let go, boom, move, nope, see? So I'm gonna have to communicate that to ChatGPT. I don't know if it's worth it doing ChatGPT versus versus just rolling my own. Rolling my own would just take forever though. That's all. I probably get done what I wanted done. You know, I wouldn't have to redo it over and over again. But at the same time, it would still take just as long. I think, maybe longer. So that's why, really, with the tool, I'd be perfectly happy if the AI was good enough to completely make the tool for me. Honestly, it might have been what I should have started to do. What I might have should have said is, this is my room class. This is what's in it. This is, I want you to make an editor for me, and I want to do this, 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 and this. And do it all in one scene, and do it all programmatically. I want to make sure all the rooms and the doors are in the thing, and the doors are invisible, though, because I'm not showing them up right now for various reasons. And maybe it would have made it for me enough to a point of where I wouldn't have to go over and over and over stuff. You know, I basically had to do this so I could understand some of this. Okay, new day. Thursday, September 18th, 2025, at approximately 11:51 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Got it. Ready to jump back in troubleshoot? Yes, need to troubleshoot. Okay, firstly, actually, I'll probably paste some stuff here. Firstly, I'm probably going to paste the code. Okay. Okay, so, I'm going to repaste my code, just so So we're on the same page, so to speak. Before telling you what I need troubleshooting on. Keep in mind, I am going to do multiple pastes, one for each script, and then after you acknowledge that you analyzed it, I'm going to tell you what needs troubleshooting. Okay? Give me a moment. I'll read through. Okay, so let's do that. Not that. Let's do the script. Okay, so select all. I'm gonna go ahead and just take out these things I commented out, older versions or whatever. That. Hopefully I don't need it. You know, usually I'm like, oh, I don't need this, and then it bombs, and then turns out I actually did need it. But my Sharona. Copy. Making copies. Okay. Layout tool, GD. Okay, Control V. Got it. Strip. Okay, so the next script is going to be layout room. Select all. Do I have a large swath of? I mean, I don't mind. I have some comment. Okay, on area input. That's smallish, but that's okay because I'm not going to need that. Oh, my Sharona. Mm. Okay. Let's select all. Copy. Layout. D. And I don't need the layout door because there's not much to it. And then we're going to go through layout camera, select all. Copy. Making copies. One more. Here's the camera. Although I haven't actually changed it. I just wanted to do it for completeness. Okay. All right. So, firstly, okay, let me go ahead and run it, and then I'll tell it. Single click and drag works like it's supposed to. Next, the actual first problem is with control click. Control. It toggles just fine. However, when you go to drag it, it automatically deselects all but the one the mouse is over and only drags a single click. Secondly, if you uh, if you hold down control, clear out, and you're still holding down the left mouse button after clicking, then you're able to move all of the selected panels. However, if you let up on the button, then it just acts like a toggle again. Thirdly, after you selected several with control clicks, it obviously defaults to single click and drag, just like it's like essentially like the first actual problem. It's the same thing, but difference being which problem. Okay. Thirdly, with shift, okay. It selects all, that's fine, and as long as you're holding down the mouse button, you can move all selected panels. However, if you release the shift, it defaults to single click. Now, please analyze what I just said and then acknowledge, and I will lay out exactly how it's supposed to work when it works properly. And then I will lay out. Okay, I will lay out exactly how it's supposed to work when it works properly. Okay, let me do. I only posted to Reddit, or not Reddit. In fact, I haven't posted to Reddit in a while. You'll see, and let's go ahead and go to Discord, stream share, and be. Oh, not 2 hours, because it's not 2 hours. Just a second. Control C. Okay. Oh, you know what I just did? Shoot. Okay, no problem here. Give me a sec. I was supposed to work on the story, and now I only have an hour, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Give me a quick sec though here. So I'm oops. Here. I'm just posting to Discord. So Chap C in the game cloud. Your streaming community. Self promo and read. Okay. And then redot discussion. Okay. Where's you try to drag it, clears all except for one on the mouse, falls back soon. Shift click, adds rooms correctly while holding down the mouse button. Dragging moves all selected once you release the mouse. The single select behavior. Persistent across is broken. Okay. Well, I'm supposed to be working. Well, I have 5 people here. That's quite interesting. Is that because I was working on the programming, and because most people don't care for the? Okay, well, sorry. Well, I'll switch to layout in part 2. So if you're here as far as the programming portion goes, you might want to come back in about 2 hours from now. 2 hours from now, and I'll be working on the layout tool. I'm just I'm gonna tell ChatGPT or this conversation that I'm supposed to be working on the game, and then I'm gonna switch to the game, and then I'll switch back later for part 2. I won't do part 2. I'll just continue as though I only had an hour here, and I'll do the full time on the layout tool part. To be working on game itself. The layout tool was supposed to be done later in my second stream. So I'm going to switch to that now, and I'll be back later, which you obviously don't have the concept of time like humans do. So for you, it will it will not be like waiting. So I'll be back later to continue this discussion. Got it. Focus on the game. I'll be hearing you. We can pick up. Okay. Okay. So let's go. Let's go back. Uh, sorry, guys. Yeah, yeah. See, it was 5, and then now it dropped down to 4, and I suspect it might even drop down to 3, unless you just hear because you like having stream on, which is cool. I hope everyone that comes in here likes having. Okay, so now drop back down to 3. See, and you guys that are still here are cool guys. So um, so that does kind of answer something a little bit too. It isn't even so much the timing, right? Even though more people are home in the afternoon uh, on the other side of the world, not including the U.S. Um, but I get the extra couple of views from. It looks like um, from the programming side because most of you guys like programming because you're game developers and that's mostly where I'm posting to. So I'm not posting to non-game development channels, which I don't know how I would, how there would be some other place that I could post this to that isn't related to game development. If I had something good and playable and had graphics and stuff, I'd be posting it to things where people can play it, but that's different. Okay, so that being said, thanks for you that stuck around and the couple of guys there um, that are normally with me because they like the programming. They'll join us in about 2 hours. And now I am going to pull up. What am I going to pull up? I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up. So this stuff is kind of boring, okay? So you three that are actually watching or have it on in the background, actually that might have been, well, that wouldn't have been Rook because he's still at work. He doesn't like stream extracurricular stuff at work. He'd probably get fired or reprimanded or something if he did that. But so what was I saying? Um, 2D. Um, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, that doesn't really matter, I guess. So so yeah, the story stuff is kind of boring, I guess. When I'm telling the story, when I have my story out and I'm telling it, that's not that boring. People seem to like that okay. However, if I'm working on the story and I'm trying to think up stuff and I'm trying to figure stuff out, even if I'm narrating, even if you like hearing my voice, which I don't know if anybody actually likes my voice per se, but that aside, what was I gonna say? Yet, yeah, this part is kind of boring, and I've got lots of stuff. I just kind of wonder, because my target audience is supposed to be someone that likes to watch behind the scenes junk, basically. Whether it be games, whether it be movies, whether it be woodworking projects, wood turning. I like watching those wood turning deals sometimes, and half the time it's not even turning wood; it's actually turning like epoxy resin or something. But so that it would be my that would actually be my target audience. Okay, but I don't know how to get to where I can tell those kinds of people about this because those kind of people are interested in many different things, and I wouldn't post this in like a woodworking forum or something, you know. Um, Maybe not even in like a maker deal, because this is even though this is making a game, it's not making a physical object or property. It's not 3D printing stuff. It's not making a robot. It's nothing like that. It's just, design work. Maybe I can find some good game design, like, yeah, I didn't think about that. Look up X community for game design. Maybe I can find some game design discords or something to actually advertise into. That is, as long as they allow you to advertise. You know, most of these game dev deals, discords that I post my links in, they're for making games specifically. So they might have a game design like channel, but that doesn't mean that um, like that I can post there. They all have their self promo deals, and that's mostly what I post to. I don't post to some general places. So I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I got to get this done, and I wanted people to be able to see how I did pretty much everything. Now you could say I've shown you everything, all the processes that I do. So um, you if you've watched any of the previous streams or update videos, now you can see the process that I go through, and you probably don't need to see the process for the rest of this. On the one hand, on the other hand, you don't know the unexpected deals. The other hand, you might want some more ideas on like, well, how do I approach this? What do I do here? And to get you the ideas. So I don't really know here um, how to make this more effective. Maybe I'll have to talk with the AIs. Maybe the AIs can help if I articulate just like articulated here or something. I don't know. I know I'm supposed to like engage in some of these communities. In other words, watch other people's like games being made. Comment on stuff, play some of the stuff, and the problem there is I don't really have the time to do any of that. All the engagement stuff, um, the actual engagement stuff, takes extra time, and I need this time to work on the game. And then otherwise, I've got stuff to do. I got the lawn to mow. I got stuff to clean up inside the house. I do the cooking um, half the time now, and so it's not like I have a lot of time to do extra stuff. So that's why I'm focusing mostly on playing, making the game here. And this is part of making the game. And I could always, I could always um, make the game part offline and like just do mostly programming the whole time. I'm sure that will get more people in here. It will get more programmers because they like programming. It won't get anybody else to watch. So I'm not sure how to handle this really, because it really I want. Well, to tell the truth, it's the for the money thing, right? And no, I don't think I'm gonna make a lot of money, and I don't think how do I say this? I'm not expecting anything. That's. I'm not doing it because I'm expecting it. You know, I'm doing it. Hopefully, it could start supporting me in the future, right? Maybe. But in order to do that, I have to get people watching, and then once they're watching, once I get enough people in here watching, that one day I only got the double digits. I got to like 11 viewers, and that was it. And then and I don't even know how I did that. I don't even know how I managed that. Um, so it's like, okay, so how do I get viewers to come in here? Especially when they're probably busy at this time. This is the time that you're busy at. If I did it late at night, for some of you, it'd be way, way early in the morning. Some of you would be way late at night, and then the others would be here in the U.S. It'd probably be kind of like something that you could do after work or whatever, right? So, but there's like there's millions of people in the U.S. and there's billions around the world. So, like I should be able to get more than 5 people at the most or whatever that I normally get streaming. Even if it was a tenth of the people, even if it was a hundredth of a percent, you know what I mean. right? 350 million people. Is that 350 million in the U.S.? Is that right? Is that right? Um, I'd be doing good if I got 35, and that's millions of a percent or something, some ridiculous thing. Anywho, I guess I should get going on this here. Okay, so all we got here right now is John sneaks to the Princess Prep. He learns her first stop was supposed to be the Grand Enchanted Landing Hotel, and that's all I got here. I do have some stuff written up, like partial walkthroughs and stuff in my notes, which I'll probably pull up. Like I said, I thought I had more more Princess Prep stuff than that. I mean, actually, I think I do later. Um, let's open this in a tab here. Anyways, I don't know how to move any faster to make this more interesting. I don't know how to make this part more interesting to people in order for them to watch. Um, what this also means? This also means that my advertising links, now that I've done it, is not doing any more good. In other words, there isn't any new people going looking at my links and going, "Oh, maybe I'll check that out." In fact, several people over here, several people that have came into the channel or onto the stream, uh, tuned into the stream, I guess, tuned into the stream, um, got there through YouTube itself. They didn't even get, or well, a couple got through YouTube, a couple got through, I guess, Redot community discussion. I guess probably the Discord, but through Redot mostly. Um, so yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, I could always switch over, right? I can either switch over purely to programming aspect of the game making. Uh, I could stop streaming and instead just focus on the update videos, and maybe I can make them even better than what I'm currently doing right now. Maybe I can actually go through and show how I do some stuff and whatever, and so well, I guess we can see. Um, yeah, I'm not really sure. I guess. Okay, so let's go to rooms. Let's go to Princess Prep. See, this is the only one, this one here, and we're gonna create some new ones, but this is the only one here. Let's go ahead and pull up my notes because I have a whole deal about him going around to like going around to the. It's so weird. I thought for sure that I did that though. Well, we're just gonna have to. Let's see. Princess Prep. Okay, we're gonna find all the things for Princess Prep here. So, oop, Princess Karen. Okay, Princess Prep, Princess Prep, Princess Prep, Princess Prep. Guest speaker. Princess Prep. Princess Prep. Finds out. Princess Preparatory Academy. Burns make the Princess speech. Here St. John River Night School and Princess Prep to get some answers. Um, wonder. Yeah, weird. Hmm. Um, there's something I could look at though. Though I have to go back up to the night school stuff here. Night school. Okay. Night school entrance, enrollment tent, challenge table, trial by gauntlet, trial by combat, trial by mount. Uh, Wait a second. Where did all that stuff go though? That huh. What does that say? Able to ask some questions, yes, with the weapons. Like, I don't know. It's like some part of this vanished. Wizard U trope. There's a lot of stuff here in Wizard U. It is really weird though. Still, um, I don't need that anymore. Let's see. I don't want. I don't care that much about. I guess. Uh, okay, doesn't matter. Let's go back here. Okay. Okay, so after asking around, John finds out the schools were closed one day, and the only explanation given is refurbishment. Night schools left open so they could train the military, and since there didn't seem to be many tourists around, they decided to train them through weapons role fighting. They also learned one day the dragons started acting evil. It's no longer safe to be around them. Hasn't shown up yet. School is closed. The lanes of Princess Prep and was usually closed. Fairy God College is probably open. John manages to find a way into Princess Prep once inside. He manages to make the way to the headmistress' office while, after looking at her desk, finds a piece of paper with the words Princess Karen of Verdant's itinerary. After looking at the list, first thing you notice at the top is saying that she was supposed to go to the Grand Enchanted Hotel after she lands. It's very possible I had more in the deal and I decided to pare it down just to the thing because the piece of information that's important is the fact that she's was supposed to go to the Grand Enchanted, so presumably she's there. Um, John then starts hearing muffled sounds in the room. He still can't see what it is. The room looks fairly normal. There are two identical plants behind the headmistress' desk. After examining the plants a bit more, when the plant seems to be wrapped leaves around something, manages to pull the plants off. She tells John that a woman entered. I know for sure that I had worked on that. That I had. I mean, it's here, but there was also a deal where I don't know if I rewrote it or what. Oops. What the heck? Where did I just go? What the heck happened? Okay, so let's open this up and let's go ahead and copy this into copy paste. Uh, I'm just leaving that in there for to help me later. Um, okay, that's the earlier stuff. The later stuff doesn't have to deal with her at all. She hasn't shown up yet. Okay, I know that. Okay. Since John Knight's going Princess Prep. Inside Princess John's okay. Night School and Princess Prep. Princess Prep, Princess Prep, Princess Prep. What's supposed to be in there? See, I had a deal where the idea is he had to go around to the headmistress's office, which is in the back, and there's this window, and somehow he manages to get in through the window, even though it's locked up. And let's see what's going on here. See, vacation princesses are trapped in Fairy God College. That's later. Okay. Let's see something here, though. John had already been in Princess Prep. He knows the Princess Itinerary, which had the Grand Enchanted Landing and Hotel at the top. The headmistress was trapped by an enchanted plant. That when John freed her, she mentioned that this woman had cast a spell on the plant, took the hotel tickets and a few other items she couldn't see. And after that, then she says she heard a male voice tell her, "You need to get back to Fairy Guide College." John had managed to enter the window of the headmistress' office around the back. When Princess Karen decides to check out Princess Prep, she goes in the front door, reads a note. Okay, so this is like later. So, here I'm gonna copy this and put this in the little text file too. Okay. Now there's only 2 people in here. That's great. Well, now it's back to 3. Actually, I had to look. I had to make sure and look on. There's 2 in YouTube, and probably only 1 in Rumble, but it's all right. Okay. So copy, and let's go ahead and we're gonna paste this. I'm gonna have to come up with like I already have it all come up with. That I guess that's kind of the good part about me doing these notes because when I come up to a problem like this where I thought I had all the information, well, it turns out I do have the information, but I have it in different various places. So now I can just look it up and like reconstruct it, right? So that's actually a good thing. Um, let's see. Princess Karen. After they rescue Princess Karen, they send her back over to Princess Prep for some reason. I forget what the reason is, but she wants to get in there somehow for some reason. I forget. She goes to the front door, reads a note. Dear future princesses, with great sorrow and heavy heart that we must inform you that Princess Prep has been temporarily suspended due to unforeseen circumstances. During this time, we invite you to explore Fairy God College's special program just for those who sign up for the Princess program. We apologize for any inconvenience. When Karen tries to open the door, it's locked. When she goes around to the window for the headmistress' room, she finds it all boarded up. Um, I think there was a point where, um, yeah, he enters through the back, and so, uh, but by the time the princess gets there, it's been boarded up. So evidently they found out um, that someone had been in there. Princess Karen and the Count tell John and Hubert that there's no other way into Princess Prep, that apparently someone closed it up after John had visited. John mentions the headmistress told him that a male voice told the woman. Oh, I see. Okay. I must have made some of this up for the this later part, because this later part here, I had to kind of pull up the back. I had to create a kind of a backstory around some of the stuff that I created there. So I mean that's okay. Anyways, okay. Let's see. Let's go down. Copy and paste. This goes directly into what happens to. We're off the screen there. Okay. John mentions that. Okay, so apparently someone closed it up after John had visited. John mentions that the headmistress told him that a male voice told the woman, who was possibly identified as Violet, to get back to Fairy God College. Then Hubert spoke up and told them that it was Violet Moonshadow, and if the princesses are anywhere, she'll know where it is. They then decide that the princess should pretend to be a vacation princess in order to infiltrate the school, and that the only thing the Count could do is turn himself into a bat and hide her in a handbag. He only agrees if she agrees to help him find a mate, which she does. Karen changes clothes to suit a more tourist vibe, and then the Count transforms into a bat and flies into her purse. She then goes up to Fairy Guy College door, knocks, claims she's sorry she was a little late, but notices the sign on Princess Prep and decided to come over. When she gets in, she's taken to a little office where Violet is sitting filling out some paperwork. Okay, so the reason that I thought I had made this stuff up is I made this stuff up about the headmistress in the office and everything from the fact that later on uh, the princess is gonna try to get into Princess Prep. She's gonna try to they're gonna have her infiltrate, or I should say go and examine things, even though John's already been there. I don't actually know why I'm having her go there. Um, I think what I was thinking is I was thinking with the fully interactive version, the player might decide to take the princess, or might decide to go over to Princess Prep and look at it, and so because of that, I'd have the sign on. So if they never go there, then that's fine. But if they go there, then they're instructed to go to Fairy God College. So I think that was my reasoning for doing that. And then this goes into the rest of the story. So let's go down and see if there's any more Princess Prep stuff. Karen wants to find out what happened to the vacation princesses. So even though John has already been there, she wants to head over to Princess Prep to see if she can find any hints. Oh, that's right, because her deal is all about. Okay, so I did have a reason. That's good. Her deal was to find out about how to rescue the vacation princesses. These are like tourists that have been trapped, right? And so she wants to help out that ways, and so she decides to go to Princess Prep just to see if she can find any hints herself. She finds a note on the door talking about a special program. Karen poses vacation princess, right? Uh, the fact the window's back's boarded up. John mentioned the headmistress claimed her male voice. Here it mentions. Okay, that's pretty much what I said already here. Um, okay, you can try Princess Prep if you like. Oh, Karen heads over to Very Odd College. Okay, they find out, they figure out a plan, so they decide to go to Fairy God College. She knocks, the guard does not let her in and states they don't need any more fairy godmothers. You can try Princess Prep if you like. Goes back to Princess Prep, sees the sign, made a special program. Password is swordfish. Okay, so she has a password that she says. Because she's a vacation that she says the password and they let her in. So, she does see the password sign on there, I guess, apparently. Princess is led into an office. Okay, that's go to the next. What's the next thing here? The next thing is, oh, now we got 4 people in here. Awesome. Um, Hubertson's, okay, that's 100. Goes back to Princess Prep. Hubertson's John Knight School. He learns that Princess is going to speak. Never made it. Thinks the Princess learns that it's all the same information because I had some stuff repeated that I put in here. Goes back to Princess Prep. At school. When John speaks to Princess Prep. Sneaks into Princess Prep. Learns. Okay, that's the same thing. Okay. So the window, I was seeing that there was a bay window behind the school where the headmistress' office, so she could like look on, let's say, look over the grounds. Maybe there's trees behind there and it looks nice or whatever. So the other thing is that it's gonna be closed up, but it's not gonna be boarded up yet. Why? Because they didn't think anybody was gonna sneak around and look inside. And if even if they looked inside, they wouldn't see anything. So they figured that was enough of a deterrent there. All right. Uh, Note what's happening. Goes back into season of the door. Yeah. So what's interesting is I don't think I did it on purpose, but um what's the information we found out about? So we found out that Max was back. And I did the thing where they trapped his magic in the painting. That's why the painting's gone. That's why the the lizards there are trapped in their paintings, is so that they can't stop Max. Okay, so that's a new thing there. And then so you confirm that Max is back, and then with this Princess Prep trip, one more piece of the puzzle. Violet is supposed to be taking care of things at Fairy God College, uh, and that and the fact that it's kind of weird that I didn't put that information into the page because that's a big piece of information there. Because now they know Smax is back. Who else is back? What else are they doing? Fairy God College is kind of a secret of that, so they only find that out once they get into Princess Prep, because they hear the voices. The headmistress hears the voices after she was trapped by the plant. Um, see the note on the door. John doesn't learn much. Okay, so guess what? Here, this is. Perform my reading trick. Outcome, just thought of another food concession for Enchanted Lands, even though it's closed. Uh, Scarborough Fair Chicken is the only one still open. There are the table chain of pizzerias, where each table is a different shape depending on the round. Cerulean is where the round tables were franchised. Most of the other realms got the usual shapes: square table pizza, triangle table pizza. But Enchanted Lands gets left with the crooked table pizza restaurant. Scarborough Fair Chicken is going to use the slogan "We doth chicken justly" instead of righteously. Oh yeah, so I changed it from to justly instead of righteously. Little play on the old slogan for Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, we do chicken right. I don't know if you remember those in the 80s, 70s and 80s, I guess. Probably in the 70s. Probably started in the 70s. But Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right. I don't know if you remember that. And then of course Dairy Queen, which I at the time and probably still is, but was owned. The owner of Dairy Queen, the owner of Kentucky Fried Chicken, was also the owner of Dairy Queen, and they had a kind of a similar campaign. In the land of Dairy Queen, we treat you right. It's similar to the Kentucky Fried Chicken one. I think they were owned by the same company. I think, but anyways, we doth chicken justly. Scarborough Fair Chicken, and then I'm even gonna come up with like a little like a commercial. It's gonna be on a magic mirror though, not on TV, obviously. But where you go to Scarborough Fair Chicken, and it's gonna play that song. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? You know, uh, Scarborough Fair was a poem like from a long time ago, like 18th century or even before that. Um, Maybe even way before that. I can't remember. But the whole thing. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Um, so I'm gonna have this little jingle. Are you going to Scarborough Fair Chicken? Parsley with excellent chicken, and then something about all for $9.99 or something. Something dumb like that. But I'm just going off. Pardon me for that. But okay, so the Wizards actually come through Crooked Table Pizza. So when Zanzibar comes through, I don't even know if I got to that yet. I think maybe I haven't actually got to that yet. Maybe Zanzibar did I get Zanzibar already came through, didn't he? So I don't know if I put that in there or not. Okay. The beverage carton from the night school will have ale, mead, wine, etc., but you can get it in another. Oh yeah, and then I always come up with these like little like pop culture references. For instance, the silver ticket is going to be in John's favorite candy bar, and so at one point um, there's going to be this blonde kid that's looking through all the Benny Wonky candy bars, trying to find the golden ticket, and then when John asks him, "What are you doing?" he's going to say, "I'm searching for the golden ticket," and he's going to go, I think you have the wrong store, or the wrong candy bar, or some such thing, right?" You know, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that thing, and so I was thinking of. Have you ever watched The Court Jester with Danny Kaye? Danny Kaye was a comedian, an actor, and a singer and performer, basically. Um, Back in the day, back in the 50s, his heyday was in the 50s, and he started sometime in the 40s. I think he was doing vaudeville and whatever, way back in the day, and so he had a successful string of movies out, and one of his most famous one is The Court Jester. If you've never seen The Court Jester, I highly recommend going and seeing it. It's hilarious. Of course, it's from the 50s, but it stars Danny Kaye and Glynis Johns, And I don't know if you know who Glenn Johns is. Glenn Johns was Mrs. Banks in Mary Poppins, and she was in various things like way later. The newest things that she was in before she died, I think, was the Sandra Bullock movie While You Were Sleeping. While You Were Sleeping was about a guy that he goes into a coma. She rescues this guy and he goes into a coma, or he's in a coma or whatever, and all the family assumes that she is his fiance. And Glynis Johns plays like the grandmother, and she's kind of half crazy, but it's funny. It's the last thing that she was in. But yeah, Glynis Johns, Basil Rathbone's in the Court Jester, and if you've never seen it, go see it. It's go find it somewhere. It's funny. You like it, but the big famous deal is where they're doing. I think they're doing a joust. I think it's a joust. Anyways, um they're passing through these tests to become a knight, basically, and they want him to become a knight so that he can marry the princess, and then uh, the bad guy will actually kill him, and then he'll somehow. I don't know how it works out. Maybe the idea was like during the competition he'd kill him then. I can't remember exactly, but so they sabotage the certain contest. I think it's a joust, but they sabotage it by putting some sort of like pill in there that will make him go to sleep, or I don't know if it's supposed to, if it was meant to poison him to die or whatever. But so they go through this dealy where the the um, the the pellet with the poisons in the um, um I don't know. I can't say it because like I don't remember all the words that go along to it. It's super famous, but it's just like my mind doesn't do want to do that. Uh, and the vessel was the the pellet with the poisons and the vessel with the pestle and the uh, chalice with the palace has the brew that is true or something like that. And then later on, they find out about it, and so they switches it, and then now the the vessel with the pestle has the brew that is true, and the flagon with the dragon has the pellet with the poison. Anyways, it's this big tongue twister thing, and it's this big famous deal from that movie. And so I thought it would be funny if I inserted that somewhere. Um, so at the beverage cart, you can get your drink in either with a vessel with a pestle, a chalice from the palace, or a flagon with a dragon. And so, if you've ever watched the Court Jester, you'll know what that reference is. So I just keep on coming up with these references in my head and kind of going, I need to put that in there. I need to just like chock it full of references. I don't know if you remember, King's Quest didn't do it because King's Quest was serious or semi serious, anyways. Space Quest though, Space Quest was comedy, and so they packed in every pop culture, every sci-fi reference they could think of into those games. Through various scenes and things. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna be doing here in here. Anyways, now that I've wasted that much time, let's go on to the next thing, which is okay. So okay, here we go. John starts hearing muffled sounds in the room. Okay, that's when he's in the headmistress's office. Uh, he still can't see what it is, as the room looks fairly normal. There are two identical plants in each corner behind the headmistress's desk. After examining the plants a bit more, one of the plants seems to be wrapped its leaves around something. With little effort, he manages to pull off the plants to reveal the headmistress just uh, headmistress to suffocate. John notices the tickets are gone. Um, okay. John doesn't learn much about Princess Prep from the princesses hanging around night school, other than it was closed down fairly early and the headmistress hasn't been seen in months. Later on, when he gets to Princess Prep, he finds the headmistress' office. Notices the open desk. On the desk, he finds a piece of paper with the words Princess Karen for his itinerary. After looking at the list, the first thing he notices at the top is an item saying that she was supposed to go to the Grand Enchanted Hotel after she lands. John hears some faint mumbling and notices two plants in the corners near the window behind the chair. One seems to be slightly enlarged. After a closer inspection, he notices some flowers give a pleasant citrus aroma, and the enlarged plant seems to be shuddering, and noises seem to be coming from it. After a minute, he recognizes some of the noises as words, instructing him to pull off the flowers, and when he does so, the plant slowly releases the headmistress. Okay, so I had this whole thing of what had happened with headmistress. Now she's been there for months, and so obviously you can't survive for months, with no food or water. But here we go. When she claims she's been there for months, he asks her how she survived without food and water, and she replies that she started eating the flowers whenever they budded, and it kept her alive. She also mentions that's why he was easily able to release her. It's because it was already weakened when he started pulling off the external flowers. The headmistress then tells John that a woman entered her office and cast a spell on one of the plants, which managed to wrap its leaves around her and wouldn't let her go. But from what she could see, the woman opened her desk, pulled out the princess itinerary along with the hotel tickets and a badge and various other odds and ends, and then left her here. John states that when he first came to Enchanted Lands, he saw a woman that could very well have been a princess get kidnapped by a gnome. Um, Quick note: it's only been at most a few hours since the princess was kidnapped, and John hears from a few princesses hanging around the jock knights and a few of the babe knights that gossip around Enchanted Lands is lightning fast. And in fact, one of the ladies on board the same train saw what happened and immediately contacted her girlfriends via two-way magic mirror compact. So, um, because of the way the time thing was going, it was the shortened amount of time, like it's been hours. It's only been hours since he's been in the lands, and that he's exploring stuff basically. I had to come up with a way for okay. Actually, that's not true. Okay, the headmistress getting trapped, and it's true that she was supposed to speak at the daily, but as far as the kidnapping goes, the kidnapping has only been hours. And John states that first he saw a woman that could very well have been a princess get kidnapped by a gnome. See. Mention sees later, and the headmistress tells John that a woman entered the office, cast a spell on plants, managed to wrap its illusion. Um, okay, so it's like it's been months since they were in there, so it's just I guess it's not. I guess it's not that weird because I guess I kind of covered it semi adequately. You might look at it and kind of go, well, it's a little contrived, but it still kind of works, right? So everything that was in it, the princess has been scheduled for Princess Prep for quite a while. You could even say a year. Let's say it was a year that she was contacted that she would have to go give a speech, and it seems like a long time, obviously, but they've been planning it for a while, and so the headmistress being trapped there for months is it's not really a plot hole or anything, It's like she's only just kidnapped, but her her going to Enchanted Lands has been uh, scheduled for quite some time. We'll say months, anyways. Let's see. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna copy all of this. All right. This doesn't have anything to do with anything, this last part, but I'm just gonna go ahead and all I just want is I want all the information in one place, and I could do that. I could add it to the. I could add it to this itself. In fact, I could. Maybe I should do all that. In fact, I will do that. Let's select all. Cut. Um. And let's see if there's any more Princess Prep stuff down here. No, we're at the very beginning. Okay, so we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. And we're going to... I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. And... Princess Prep... information. And we're just going to save this all here. It is duplicate, but which is kind of okay because... All right. Window. Okay. Anyways, this is okay. We're gonna go ahead and close this, and I know I didn't get to it today, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so that does it for part one today. When I get back, when I return in an hour, we're gonna work on the layout tool again. I know I started to do that earlier, which kind of wasted some time, but that's okay. We'll deal with that, whatever. And so yeah, so I guess we'll see you in an hour. Thank you for watching part one.